Yes.
Few more typical problems on application of SHM in rotational dynamics, but I'll come to it after finishing of the theory with simple pendulum. Firstly, with simple pendulum, we have an issue that derivation that told to you and time period told to you is only one part of the approximation. Time period is 2 pi under root L by G. Time period of a simple pendulum is 2 pi under root L by G. If the length of the simple pendulum increases, will the time period increase, decrease, or remain the same? Increase. If the length of the simple pendulum reaches infinity, time period will reach?
Infinity.
84.6 minutes. If the length of the simple pendulum reaches infinity, time period of the simple pendulum will reach 84.6 minutes. That's a very strange limitation. How do you get this? Have a look at this. What is this?
Sphere.
Earth. This is length of the simple pendulum suspended from O. This is O dash. This is slightly displaced by an angle of theta. So this angle will be theta, this angle will be phi. I am taking the torque about O. Both of them need not be the same.
Yes, sir.
This is theta, this is phi. Secondly, I am taking the torque about O. I am not taking about O dash. I am taking the torque about O. And both the angles are very, very small because this sphere or this pendulum should be on the surface of Earth. So X should be very small.
Yes.
If X is very small, theta is very small, phi is very small. This angle is phi. Now if I want to take the torque about O, have a look at it. I am taking the torque about O. Tension is passing through it. It will not produce any torque. The only other force acting on it is mg. Right. Mg will be passing through the center. So extend the line of action of mg and drop a perpendicular on it. This angle will be theta plus phi. This will become L sin theta plus phi. Is everybody convinced?
Yes, sir.
So torque about O will be mg into L sin theta plus phi. Now this will be I into alpha mgl theta plus phi. What did I do? Sine of an angle will be equal to the angle if that angle is very, very small.
Yes.
This is ml square mgl. Now watch out for this. I took the torque about O, right? So the angular acceleration is about O. I should prove that the angular acceleration is directly proportional to the angular displacement. Angular displacement also I'll take about the same point.
Yes.
So the alpha which I get, I should prove is directly proportional to theta, not phi. The alpha which I get, I have taken the torque about this point. So alpha which I get will be about this point. Hence that should be directly proportional to the angular displacement about the same point.
Yes, sir.
That's why I brought it out. Cancelled out M, cancelled out L. Alpha is G by L into 1 plus phi and theta are very, very small. I can replace that with the tan phi and tan theta because phi and theta are very, very small.
Yes,
so
sir.
alpha I will get as G by L. Now tan phi, have a look at it. This distance will be taken as x, this small length, x by r upon tan theta will be x by L. G by L, x by L plus x by r upon x by L theta. X gets cancelled out, L gets cancelled out. G into 1 by L plus 1 by r into theta. Obviously with a negative sign implies omega is G into 1 by L plus 1 by r. Why are you getting omega under root G into L 1 by L plus 1 by r? The regular simple pendulum that you dealt with was L is much lesser than R. If you remember the normal simple pendulum that you dealt with, length of the simple pendulum was 1 or 2 meters hardly. Radius of Earth was 6,400 kilometers. So L will be much lesser than R. So 1 by L will be much greater than 1 by R. If I put 1 by L much greater than 1 by R, I'll get omega is under root G by L. This was the answer that we are expecting for a normal simple pendulum. But right now I am dealing with a simple pendulum where L is much larger than R. Radius of Earth is 6,400 kilometers. If L is much larger than R, it will be in light years.
Yes, sir. Under root
So
of G by R.
1 by L will be much lesser than 1 by R. Omega will be under root G by R. So time period will be 2 pi under root R by G. Radius of Earth is 6,400 kilometers. G approximately you can take as 10. G approximately you can take as 10. Substitute and see, you will get 84.6 minutes. The irony is that, suppose, now after dealing with gravitation we will derive this mathematically. Suppose I dig a tunnel from the north pole to south pole of Earth and leave a body here. I dig a tunnel from the north pole to south pole of Earth and leave a body here. Now this body, when it performs SHM, its time period will be 2 pi root R of A, the same 84.6 minutes. On the contrary, what if the tunnel is dug, not passing through the center of the Earth, yet it is 84.6 minutes. Right? These both conditions we will deal with in gravitation. Now listen. This is a car which is accelerating with an acceleration of a0. If this will be mg, this component will be mg sin theta. Do you all agree with that?
Yes, sir.
The pseudo force of ma0, when I resolve in this direction, this will be ma0 cos theta. So for the body to be in equilibrium, ma0 cos theta should be equal to mg sin theta. Tan theta will be equal to a0 by g. You have already seen this long back in Newton's laws. Yes or no?
Yes,
The only difference there, because the body is in equilibrium, I took the tension T. I said T cos theta was equal to mg. T sin theta was equal to ma0. I divided both and told you tan theta is equal to a0 by g. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
No. Because it is in equilibrium, I can take vector sum of all the forces in any direction and equate it to 0. Here I took along this direction, I got this. If tan theta is a0 by g, this is a0 g, hypotenuse will be a0 square plus g square. So sin theta will be equal to a0 by under root a0 square plus g square. Cos theta is equal to g by under root a0 square plus g square. Firstly, is that step clear to all?
Yes, sir.
What is the big deal in it? If we know tan theta, we can calculate sin theta and cos theta, because I need for the problem I derived it, but for that nothing else. Now from the equilibrium position, what are you doing to the problem? You are displacing it slightly. Remember, theta need not be small. Theta's value will be dependent on a0. Maybe it has a huge acceleration. But from here to displace it by an equilibrium position, this angle phi should be small. Phi is small.
Yes.
Remember, but theta need not be small. From the equilibrium position, I displaced the simple pendulum by an angle of phi. So the pseudo force of ma0 now in this direction will be ma0 cos theta plus phi, and this will be mg. Restoring force of mg's component will be mg sin theta plus phi. Do you all agree with that?
Yes, sir.
So net total restoring force.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Huh?
So when its acceleration is a0, then why it will change? Why it will go beyond theta?
I have displaced it by a small angle of phi from the equilibrium position for it to oscillate.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Any spring mass system, simple pendulum is in equilibrium. From equilibrium, I should displace it by some value, right? So from the equilibrium, I displaced it by an angular displacement of phi. Phi is small. So restoring force will be equal to mg sin theta plus phi minus ma0 cos theta plus phi. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
This is mass into acceleration g sin theta cos phi plus cos theta sin phi minus a0. I am removing m on both sides. a0 cos theta cos phi.
Sin theta sin.
Fine with that?
Yes,
And
Yes,
you are
sir.
telling me phi is very small. When phi is very small, this was sin theta cos phi. Cos phi will be equal to 1, sin phi will be equal to 5. Cos phi will be equal to 1, sin phi will be equal to 5.
Yes,
So
sir.
A will be equal to g sin theta. G sin theta value is here. A naught under root A naught square plus g square plus g phi exists as it is. Cos theta value will be g upon under root A naught square plus g square minus A naught. Cos theta value is just g upon root over of A naught square plus g square, right? Plus A naught square phi upon root over of A naught square plus g square. Is it clear? Into x by L.
Yes, sir.
Phi I substituted as x by L. Now this L I will bring it to the denominator. Put a negative sign because A and x are not in the same direction. That means the time period of the oscillation 2 pi root over of L by root over of A naught square plus g square. Technically a textbook will write this as T equal to 2 pi under root L by G effective. What do you mean by G effective? Resultant of both the forces acting on it. The resultant will be root over of this square plus this square divided by the mass will be the G effective value. Today he is telling you the car is accelerating straight. Tomorrow he can tell you the car is taking a circular turn. If the car is taking a circular turn, instead of A naught, I will put omega square R.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? Accelerated frame. The objective questions asked on this subcategory were quite amusing enough. I'll put them on the board. I need the board for that. This is the effective formula that you'll have to remember. 2 pi root over of L by G effective. That means the resultant of all the forces acting on the body is small m. Subheading accelerated frame. If the simple pendulum is accelerating, if the elevator is accelerating upwards, what will be the time period of the simple pendulum? 2 pi root over of L by G plus A. Because G is in the downward direction, pseudo force is also in the downward direction.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Mg is in the downward direction and Ma is in the downward direction. Second, what if, obviously now I don't need to write this. Suppose the accelerator is going down, it will be G minus A.
Minus A.
Right? What if the car is going about in a circular track with a velocity of V square? The centrifugal force acting on this particular
Omega
simple
square R.
pendulum will be, this will be mg and this will be mv square by
Omega
r.
square R.
So time period will be 2 pi root over of L by G plus V square by R whole square. Right? Square root. Fine with this? What if?
Yes, sir.
Watch out for this. Horizontal acceleration of A. Tell me the time period. There is no G in it. M and K are independent of G. Here if it is M by K, why will it not be M by K here?
Yes, sir. Same.
Yes,
It is
sir.
independent
Yes,
of
sir.
G. Try to understand. G effective doesn't come into the picture here.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Will depend on them.
If there is an electrostatic field called capital E into Q, will that be the force on the charged particle? Are you aware of this?
Yes, sir.
Electrostatic field is capital E. Electrostatic field into the charge Q will be the force due to the electrostatic field. If that is the force due to the electrostatic field, I have a block of mass M, charge Q, and electrostatic field switched on. Time period is 2 pi root over of L by EQ is in the upward direction, G minus EQ by M.
Fine. Yes, sir.
A positive charge will experience a force in the direction of the field. Negative charge will experience a force opposite to the direction of the field. If by chance I make this minus, then EQ force will be in the downward direction. This would have become G plus. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now what will be the force of attraction between two charges? K, Q1, Q2 by R square. Are you aware of it?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Now have a look at it. I have a charge of Q naught here and a charge of Q here. Length of the simple pendulum is C. T L 2 pi root over of L by
G minus K Q1 Q2 by MR square.
reason being, watch out for this. When you started this episode here, you told me that time period is 2 pi root over of L by G effective. G effective, you were telling me to take the resultant of all the forces acting on it. Why did you not take the resultant of mg, ma and the tension? You took the resultant of only mg and ma. What happened to the tension there? If you remember the derivation, the previous case, you have taken this to be ma, you have taken this to be mg, and you have taken this to be t. When you took G effective, you have taken only these two. What happened to this? I have not taken that because that will not contribute to the restoring force. Why will it not contribute to the restoring force? Component in this direction, 90 degree. Component of tension that will provide the restoring force is 0. Are you trying to tell me any force along the length of the string will not contribute to the restoring force? Yes. Any force along the length of the string will not contribute to restoring force. Now force of attraction between these two will be along the length of the string. They will not contribute to the restoring force. That way you may say that this here also pseudo force Ma is along the length of the string. It is not. When I displace this by an angle of theta, the pseudo force mg plus Ma is in the downward direction. It will not be along the length of the string. So this Q and Q naught will give me electrostatic force along the length of the string. Implies we will take into G effective all the forces except the forces along length of the string. All the forces except the forces along length of the string. Is that clear to all? All the questions on the board have been objective questions asked in some or the other AATS or test series by various institutes.
Why it is independent of spring block system? Please explain it again.
Spring block system, there is no G here. It is independent of G, so it will be M by K. The reasoning question asked on this, as far as HCV is concerned, if I take it to the moon, which will maintain a constant time period, spring block system will maintain a constant time period. The restoring force is only because of Kx. The position of the equilibrium position may change because of gravity. To come to the equilibrium position, maybe it will be stretched by greater distance. But from the equilibrium position, what produces the restoring force is only Kx. It depends purely on Kx. Hence it is independent of acceleration and this. It purely depends on M and K. Planck of mass capital M. Remember, these two are two solid cylinders. They are not rolling. They are being made to rotate with a constant angular velocity omega fixed about their axle. The two cylinders are fixed about their axle.
Yes, sir.
So there is no question of rolling concept here. Perfectly slipping conditions at these 2 points. The length of this will be L. The distance between the two. Now if you see the equilibrium condition is, when I draw the free body diagram, this is rotating in the direction, means this point will be slipping in the forward direction. I will have friction in this direction. Similarly, this is slipping in this direction, implies friction will be in this direction. Reaction of this friction is on it, reaction of this friction is on it. Because the coefficient of friction is the same and they are equally spaced, the normal force will be the same. Hence these both values will cancel out each other and the body is in equilibrium.
Yes, sir.
Now obviously, if the system is residing in equilibrium, you know what is to be done? What?
So displace it by
Excellent.
length of
Slightly
x.
displace it by a distance of x. It will perform.
SHM.
Find its.
Time period.
Wonderful.
Or omega.
Free body diagram for that. Look out for the hint. Now when I displace it towards the right, this will be n1, this will be n2. This distance will be L by 2 plus x. This distance will be L by 2 minus x. The free body diagram for capital M will be, now because this is spinning in this direction, this is spinning in this direction. On this I will have a friction of F1. On this F1, F2, reaction of that is F2. Now 100% F2 will be greater than F1. What makes you say that? Greater mass is on this particular plank, this particular cylinder. So N2 will be greater than N1. If N2 is greater, mu into N2 is the frictional force because the point is slipping. So F2 minus F1 is capital M into A. F2 and F1 will be mu into N2 minus N1 is capital M into A. This is the first equation. That's a hint for you. Proceed with that. Make it fast.
Root 2 mu g by L.
Under root 2 mu g by L, I think is right. Here your second equation will be, that is your first equation. Second equation is N1 plus N2 is equal to mg. I need a third equation for this. The third equation will be N1 into L by 2 plus x will be equal to N2 into L by 2 minus x. Mu into N2 minus N1. N1 plus N2 is mg. N1 into L by 2 plus x is equal to N2. Why have you given the third equation this way? Because the plank is horizontal. It will not tilt in either of these two directions. Right? It should remain horizontal. It is not accelerating either this way or this way. Hence about the center of mass, for it to remain horizontal, it will oscillate only this way. It shouldn't oscillate this way. Hence the third equation comes into picture. Have a look at this. Generally when you have more than one spring, connected by massless bodies, it is suggested you calculate K equivalent. It's more like telling you, if I have two springs this way, I know that two springs are in parallel. If they are in parallel, time period will be 2 pi under root m by K equivalent. Now K equivalent will be equal to K1 plus K2. You are aware of this, yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Same is the situation here. If I have two springs this way,
1 by
this will be
K2.
K1 and K2. Time period is 2 pi root over of m by K equivalent. K equivalent will be equal to K1 K2 upon.
K1 plus K2.
Now here recognizing series and parallel was quite easy. Suppose you are dealing with a system like this. This is K, this is fixed, and you have a block here of mass m. Temporarily the pulley is light and smooth. Temporarily the pulley is light, but there is sufficient friction to prevent slipping. Temporarily the pulley is light, but there is no slipping here. As a result of which, if this comes down by a distance of x naught, have a look at it. Let me consider this to have a displacement of x. When this comes down by a distance of x naught to the equilibrium position, the elongation in the spring I am assuming to be x. By constraints, this will go down by x and this will go down by x. The constraint for this segment will be x naught minus x. X naught is moving away from the center of the segment, x is approaching the center of the segment. Now here lower end is fixed, upper end is approaching the center of the segment. Net total elongation is 0. X naught is equal to 2x. X is equal to x naught by 2.
Yes, sir.
You are trying to tell me that if this block comes down by a distance of x naught to come to the equilibrium position, here this will be x is equal to x naught by 2. This is what you are telling me? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Under those circumstances, the tension here will be kx naught by 2.
Yes, sir.
Because the pulley is light and smooth, the tension in both of them will be kx naught by 4. This will be kx naught by 4 equal to mg. So at the equilibrium position, kx naught by 4 is equal to mg. Is everybody clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Now from the equilibrium position, if I displace it by a distance of x, the restoring force in the upward direction will be kx by 4 plus kx naught by 4, because history repeats. When I displace this by a distance of, say, call this y, because I already used x. When I displace this by a distance of y, now this will get displaced by y by 2. So restoring force developed here will be ky by 2. Here it will become ky by 4.
Yes, sir.
So net total restoring force will be ky by 4 plus kx naught by 4 minus mg will be equal to mass into acceleration. So these both will go. A is equal to minus k by 4m into y. Hence I get the value of omega is under root k by 4m. Is the logic clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now here I solve the problem traditionally. 1 second, all of you listen to it. Here I solved the problem traditionally. If I were to replace this with k equivalent, watch out for this. If I were to replace this with k equivalent, the concept of k equivalent is this. Now it's already in the equilibrium position. Now the body is already in equilibrium position. The whole of the concept of k equivalent is, when I displace this from the equilibrium position by a distance of y, whatever is the restoring force I generated in this particular case, when I displaced this by a distance of y, the restoring force which I generated should be the same when I displace this by a distance of y. I should get the same restoring force T. Only then I can call it k equivalent.
Yes, sir.
When I displace this by a distance of y, I got a restoring force of T. Here I can consider whole of this equipment to be replaced with one single spring and call it k equivalent, provided I displace this mass by the same distance of y and get the same restoring force. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That implies when I displaced this by y, this will go down by y by 2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now if this is ky by 2, here it will be ky by 4. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the tension that I should produce is ky by 4. Ky by 4 is equal to mass into acceleration, is equivalent to k equivalent into y. Rather, k equivalent into y. The restoring force generated here is ky by 4. In this case also the restoring force should be the same. That means k equivalent into y should give me the same value. That means I am getting k equivalent is equal to k by 4.
Yes, sir.
Time period will be
Yes,
2 pi root over of m by k equivalent, k by 4. See if you are getting the same thing. Here time period will be 2 pi root over of 4m by
4 and by
k.
Yes, sir.
Is the logic clear to all?
Yes, sir.